channel. Bogdan #7.
Bruh.
I posted my 2025 Formula One mid-season predictions on the 9th of August, almost halfway through the summer break. Now I'm going to revisit them and I'm going to look at what I predicted and see if I was right, if I was wrong. Probably more wrong than right, but that's another thing. Also, I did not expect Verstappen's comeback at all. So, but I did expect um, McLaren not winning all the races. So at least that counts. Anyways, the Dutch Grand Prix, I predicted Piastri, Verstappen, Norris on the podium. We got the first two. It nearly was like this on Norris ahead of Verstappen, but eventually had that engine failure. And Hanchar was on the podium. Russell was fourth. I think that was too from real life. Hamilton fifth, Leclerc sixth. They got a double DNF, so that doesn't matter. And Gasly seventh, Anthony eighth, Albon ninth, and Sainz tenth. Okay, yeah, those are not the best patience, and that is not a good start to this video. In the drivers, basically things stayed as normal. I'm not actually going through the drivers championships after every round. Drivers and constructor championships. I just want to say I thought Ferrari would maintain their second position almost all the way through the season, and they would actually get some wins. And I thought Dolan would eventually replace Minto after Azerbaijan, and you'll see what actually will happen. Also, playing the Brazilian sprint race to be wet, which was kind of it. And again, the Las Vegas race to be wet, whose qualifying session was actually wet, but that's not the point. Let's go through the Italian Grand Prix next. So, in the Italian Grand Prix, we had Piastri first, which Gina Tapani was third, Leclerc second, Russell third, Hamilton fourth. Not a good prediction, I know, but I kind of expected Norris to have the DNF here, which he didn't have, but he had the previous round, so I was kind of right on that because I actually had no, actually not had the correct result because Norris was third in I Sanford predictions on second, but I kind of had it just reversed. Hulkenberg fifth. I expected Sauber to have a massive resurgence in the second part of the season, and did not happen. Antonelli sixth, which was a bit too high. Verstappen seventh. Not actually Alonso seventh. Verstappen eighth. Verstappen, man, was he not expected to be that good? I expected Triple to fall off that race winning uh, chance. I expect them to win zero races in the middle, in the second part of the season actually, and in the middle part of the season, and actually got more than that thanks to Max. Never underestimate him. That's the lesson. Bortoleto and Lawson 9th and 10th. Again, not the best predictions, but I did predict Piastri ahead of Leclerc and Russell and Hamilton. I think that was the finishing order. Was I right? But not first to fourth, but third to sixth. Was I right? I think I was. Now, here is where predictions start to get even worse. Leclerc, I predicted would win Azerbaijan, finally breaking his curse, and man, I was not right. Norris and Piastri second and third, and again, they were a long way off the podium. Well, actually, Norris um, wasn't that bad, but I mean, it was bad. He could have easily taken a big jump in retaking his championship lead, but still, eventually got the title, so it wasn't really that bad. And then Hamilton 4th, Russell 5th, Antonelli 6th. I didn't expect Mercedes to get second and fourth here. Stroll 7th, Verstappen again 8th, Lawson 9th, and Hadjar 10th. I expected Red Bull to be there just above. Racing Bulls Tsunoda even worse, and I didn't expect at all to see that kind of resurgence. And theoretically, if you were looking at it at the middle part of the season, it wasn't that. Um, Predictions weren't that bad. Of course, when we look at it now, they're very bad. Now in Singapore, Norris first, Piastri second, Russell third. That was my prediction. Actually, these were three among the top four, but it was Russell, Norris, Piastri, not Norris, Piastri, Russell. So I didn't get that right. Hamilton 4th and 25th. I think Antonelli did actually finish 5th, so I got that one right. Verstappen 6th, again underestimating him. Leclerc 7th, Stroll 8th, Hülkenberg 9th, Hadjar 10th, again Zauber and Stroll getting some points, and Hadjar again, I think, the lower, very lower points paying positions. Now, in the US sprint, I said Hamilton would win this, his second sprint win of the year. I was pretty wrong. I mean, after that chaotic start, pretty much almost anybody from the top teams remaining could win this. Russell second, Norris third. Russell did indeed finish second, but Norris was, of course, out on the first lap, as was Piastri in fifth. Verstappen in fourth was a better predicted result than the last few races, but again, it's of the predicted result. Piastri fifth, as I previously mentioned. Leclerc sixth, Antonelli seventh. He did actually end eighth, I think, after that Permon penalties. I wasn't that far off. And Gasly eighth. So yeah, not the best set of predictions yet again, but I must say, just before we get on, I did predict that get going on to the Grand Prix. I did predict that McLaren would win the constructors in Singapore, so that's the thing I got right finally. Now, for the US Grand Prix, I said the podium would be Piastri, Antonelli, and Hamilton. Hamilton finally getting a podium, which he never got in real life. Antonelli second was a bad prediction, and Piastri first was a bad prediction. Russell fourth, Fernando fifth, again bad predictions. Hülkenberg sixth, did get points, but I don't think that it wasn't sixth place, was it? I don't think it was. Albon 7th, Leclerc 8th, Verstappen 9th, Tsunoda 10th. Again, pretty wrong with these ones. So, yeah. Now, for Mexico City, I predicted that Leclerc, Russell, and Antonelli would be our podium trio. Neither, actually, Leclerc did get on the podium, he was second, but neither of the Mercedes drivers getting on the podium. They were like, what, 6th and 7th? Hülkenberg got 4th place, and again, I expected the Sauber to have the major upgrade in the second part of the season. They did not. I mean, some races were pretty good. Puerto Rico did get some points, for example, here in Mexico City, but yeah. Norris 5th, Piastri 6th, kind of where Piastri finished. He finished 5th, but Norris won the race, of course. Hamilton 7th, Verstappen 8th, Albon 9th, and the Gasly 10th. Hamilton was actually 8th in real life, so kind of over predicted that one. And yeah, again, these predictions come from a different view, but again, McLaren not winning every race and winning only a few races is kind of what happened in real life, because we had Verstappen, we had Russell with race wins, and we had some other people challenging, like Antonelli, like Leclerc. Okay, Hamilton not, but you understand my point. For the Sao Paulo sprint, I said the podium will be, I predicted that the podium would be Russell, Leclerc, Norris. Russell did get on the podium, Norris did win the sprint, Leclerc didn't get on the podium, so that was a no-go from me. Piastri crashed and I predicted him finishing 4th, Verstappen 5th, Hülkenberg 6th, Antonelli 7th, and Hamilton 8th. So yeah, again, that is not really what happened. Now, for the race, I did predict in Sao Paulo some interesting results which actually happened. I predicted Norris would win, he won. Russell second, Verstappen third, Antonelli fourth. Happened, but we have to reverse Antonelli and Russell. Piastri fifth. Happened. Leclerc sixth, DNF, Hülkenberg seventh, and Alonso eighth, and Sainz ninth, and Tsunoda 10th. Did not really happen, but did. I didn't Hülkenberg get points, and also I predicted that Hamilton would DNF the race, which he did. So again, some random right predictions from me. For Las Vegas, for the wet Las Vegas race, I predicted the Hamilton Norris Piastri podium. Hamilton didn't, of course, not even get the podium, so already out there. Lando did get second behind before his disqualification, and Piastri did fourth, so I was kind of there. Alonso fourth, Bortoleto fifth, Verstappen sixth, Hülkenberg seventh, Antonelli eighth, Leclerc ninth, Ocon 10th. Did not happen. Actually, Ocon did happen, but was he 10th or 9th after his qualifications? Because they had his for 11th and 12th, and then after Piastri and Norris's disqualifications, they got 9th and 10th. So I think, yeah, Ocon was behind, was he? So I don't know. But anyway, said, yeah, is another pretty bad prediction from me. For the Qatar sprint race, I said Piastri would win with Antonelli and Verstappen in second and third. Piastri did win, Verstappen was fourth, and Antonelli was further down the pack. So yeah, Norris fourth, Leclerc fifth, Russell sixth. Yeah, Norris was third and Russell second. So yeah. Duan seventh because I expected him, as previously mentioned, to replace Colapinto after Singapore. Thing that did not happen, and Hamilton eighth. So yeah, again some wrong predictions, and actually, if you look at, I mean, I was a bit overconfident that Antonelli will get on the podium, but he actually did get in the last part of the season, had a very good run, except Abu Dhabi. But still, I wasn't that far off. Well, um, at least in the first half of the point scorers. So again, okay. Yeah, those were okay predictions. Now we have to go to the main race, sorry, where I predicted the podium trio of Russell, the podium trio of Russell, Hamilton, Norris. Very wrong there. Antonelli 4th, he was 5th, Leclerc, Piastri, Bortoleto, Hülkenberg, Verstappen, and Albon also in the points. Something that, yeah, did not happen, especially in that order. I mean, yeah, or Piastri and Verstappen got points, but yeah. And again, that surge in Zauber's performance that I expected was highlighted here by the 7th and 8th place. So yeah, that is bad. Those were some bad predictions from me, even worse than the usual ones. But I do think that, you know, as a Mercedes fan, I really wanted Mercedes to win a race. So I said Qatar because we got pole in Qatar in 24. So probably I was expecting that. For the final round in Abu Dhabi, where Piastri was 22 points ahead of Norris in the title battle. Verstappen was far off, I think it was 5th and did the season 5th in the drivers behind Russell and Leclerc. let's see what happened. I predicted the podium trio of Antonelli, Norris, and Piastri. Norris and Piastri were second and third, but reversed, and Antonelli did get 15th. So again, a second consecutive Mercedes win that did not happen. Russell 4th, Leclerc 5th again, should be swapped around. Hamilton 6th, Verstappen 7th, Bortoleto 8th, Hülkenberg 9th, not happen, and Berman 10th. Was he? I think he was near that place. I don't know. I don't actually remember if he was. But anyways, again, doesn't matter. Those are some pretty those that is the last points playing position, so it does not really matter. In the drivers, Piastri would eventually win the title by 19 points. Something that did not happen. Russell will be third, Leclerc fourth, Verstappen fifth, Hamilton sixth, Antonelli seventh, but both with a lot more points than actually happened. Hülkenberg gave Albon ninth, Alonso 10th, did not happen. Albon was 8th, Alonso was actually 10th. Stroll 11th, Bortoleto 12th, Ocon 13th, Gasly 14th, Hajar 15th, Lawson 16th, Sainz 17th, Tsunoda 18th, Berman 19th, Duan 20th, and Colapinto 21st. So again, very, very interesting. I mean, Tsunoda was pretty much there, but I did expect a very good season, very good second part of the season by Sauber, as previously mentioned. McLaren would end the season with 911 points in my simulation, again taking the title in Singapore, which is something that happened in real life, and they actually didn't get as many points as they had because they had some DNFs. Ferrari and Mercedes would be tied for second with 518 points. I actually don't know what the tiebreaker would be, but again, they did not get that many points, did not get that many points, and Ferrari were fourth. And Red Bull's 283 points were they were like very far off from the fight, more than 240 points. And actually, if you were to do the maths, 235, I think, because that's fair, 518 with 283. That basically tells us that I did not expect Red Bull to have the good season at all. I actually expect them to have what the in the podium in the Dash Grand Prix, and I think that was it for the remainder of the season. Um, yeah, because so again, let's recap: Dash Grand Prix, Piastri, Verstappen, Norris; Italian Grand Prix, Piastri, Leclerc, Russell; Azerbaijan, Leclerc, Norris, Piastri; Singapore, Norris, Piastri, Russell; US Sprint, Hamilton, Russell, Norris; US Piastri, Antonelli, Hamilton; Leclerc, Russell, Antonelli, Russell, Leclerc, Norris. Yeah, did not really happen. I mean, he did get some podiums, but not what we expected. And Tsunoda did get a little bit less points than what was expected. So, but got fifth with Williams down in sixth, tied on points with Aston Martin. Not what happened. Red Bull actually Racing Bull safe. Has ninth and Alpine 10th. Again, not what happened. Though Alpine got more points in real life, let's say that. Um. Oh, and Aston Martin were at no points with Williams. Again, I don't know the tiebreakers would have won, but still not what we focused on and we want to focus on. In general, those were some pretty bad predictions, and I do expect to have some even worse ones next year because there's gonna be a change in regulations. Up until then, actually, up until next year, there'll be a Stranger Things related video before the finale, or I think dropping on the 30th, and there will be a New Year special on the 31st or the 1st. We'll see what happens. Anyways, thank you for watching, like and subscribe, and goodbye.